Students were walking in a winter wellness wonderland after attending the United Greek Council's mental health event. Hear more about how self-care can improve your health during the winter months.
The best Thursday of the year is coming up quick. We have a list of spots around Northeast Ohio where you can dine in this Thanksgiving.
And Kent State students have been donating winter coats to make sure that folks in Portage County aren't left out in the cold this winter season. We'll give an update on how many of these coats have been collected.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening and welcome to Kent Stater TV at 6. I'm Noah Rowe.
And I'm Sydney Brown. Thank you for joining us this evening. The end of the semester is in sight, and for many Kent State students, there's an organization on campus to make students feel prepared for finals and the winter months.
Absolutely, and Kent Stater TV's own Landry Torres is joining us in the studio tonight to tell us more. Landry.
That's right, Noah. As the holidays approach, the United Greek Council made an effort to take care of fellow Flashes as they hosted an event to help students prioritize their mental health. Monday night, the United Greek Council's Winter Wellness Wonderland provided students with tips to prioritize self-care this winter season.
There's spaces for people of color to go, and there's resources everywhere. You just got to ask about it.
The United Greek Council stresses the importance of mental wellness, especially within diverse communities. This event prioritized students taking space for themselves while making space for others.
As like a member of the United Greek Council, we take mental health extremely seriously. Taking the time to establish a space to allow yourself to kind of recheck in.
UGC is a KSU student organization and includes 9 national fraternities and sororities with 6 active chapters on campus. But this community makes an effort to bring wellness programming beyond their active members.
Some of us are told to just ignore our emotions and not know how to cope with them. So I feel like with this event, it would kind of like, give us resources.
During this event, the Counseling and Psychological Services at Kent State University spoke to those in attendance about the importance of mental wellness during the winter seasons. Healthy discussion was offered in hopes of breaking the stigma surrounding mental health.
And it's also Thanksgiving, and for some people they don't have a home to go to, so being able to just come together with all your friends one more time to work on your mental health and get a good gathering before Thanksgiving.
Well, that's all I have for you today. For more stories like this, tune in to KSTV and KentWired.com. Landry Torres, KSTV.
Thank you, Landry. Akron Public Schools may not meet the state deadline to submit a board-approved 5-year financial projection after last night's school board meeting, where the superintendent was pressed to share details on the nearly $15 million in potential cuts. He declined to vote on the forecast. With the approaching holiday and the state deadline, the school board would need to call a special meeting tomorrow or Friday. If the Akron Public Schools does not meet the deadline, they could risk losing state funding.
And staying with schools, the Satanic Temple is launching a new religious release program at Edgewood Elementary in Marysville, Ohio, starting next month. This comes as the state legislature considers a bill requiring school districts to allow religious programs during school hours. The program, called Hellions Academy for Independent Learning, will offer off-campus instruction once a month, focusing on self-directed learning, empathy, and problem solving. The Satanic Temple does not actually worship Satan or believe in the supernatural, that's according to the Washington University in St. Louis, but rather promotes equity, empathy, and social justice.
In Ravenna, the Chestnut Commerce Center installed solar panels to reduce energy costs and carbon emissions. The project at the new GE building expects the panels to generate 1 megawatt of power. This covers a part of the building's energy needs and saves 22% on energy costs. Ohio's moderate solar energy potential brings a growing demand for green energy in the region, even with limited roof space for panels.
And Kent State is collecting winter clothing to donate to the Portage County Clothing Center.
And all across campus, donation bins are filling up. Talia Milwich has the full story.
The Office of Sustainability hosts a yearly campus-wide winter clothing drive. This year's started November 1st and ends December 13th.
We have multiple donation areas around campus.
Students can drop off donations at 8 locations across campus.
This initiative actually started, I think, about 10 years back.
The Care Center, which provides resources to students in need, was originally formed due to a large number of students facing housing instability and lacking resources.
As we worked with them, we
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
I'm Tegan Evans with your weather for Kent and around the state of Ohio. It has gotten much colder here on campus, and this is going to continue as the week goes on. But first, let's take a look at the current temperatures here in Kent. Right now, it is 36 degrees. There was a little bit of sun peeking through earlier this evening, but increasing clouds will take over the rest of the evening. Winds are west 6 to 9 miles per hour. However, gusts can reach up to 22 miles per hour as the night goes on. Now, if we take a look at the whole state of Ohio, up north by the lake, Toledo is 37 degrees. A little bit warmer in Akron-Canton, 39 degrees. We go down south to Columbus and Athens, both sitting at 42 degrees, and a little bit warmer in Cincinnati at 42 degrees. We head over to east, Pittsburgh, 46 degrees. Now let's take a look at what the rest of tonight is going to look like. We are going to stay in the mid-30s, going all the way down to 32 degrees. The wind gusts will continue, reaching 21 miles per hour by 11 p.m. That's all I have for right now, but when I come back, we will take a look at the temperature drop happening during Thanksgiving break and what your Turkey Day will look like. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Tegan. Intel is getting nearly $8 billion from the CHIPS Act to expand semiconductor production in the United States, including 2 massive chip factories in central Ohio. This investment could create over 10,000 jobs and solidify Ohio as the Silicon Heartland. Local schools are already training future workers through microchips, making this a big win for Ohio's economy and tech leadership.
Expect more highway patrol troopers starting tomorrow until Sunday night. Law enforcement will be focused on impaired drivers and seatbelt violators to make sure everyone stays safe over the holiday. Last year, state records show 326 arrests for OVI violations during the Thanksgiving reporting period. To report impaired driver activities, call 677.
And Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and for those in Northeast Ohio looking to skip the cooking, several sit-down restaurants will be open to serve you. Options include Bob Evans, which will be open from 8 in the morning until 7 p.m., Cracker Barrel during its regular hours of 7 to 9, and Golden Corral, which opens at 11 o'clock and is going to close around 6:30. For Italian flavors, Romano's Macaroni Grill is open from noon until 8, and Ruby Tuesday will serve dinners from 11 until 9.
Coming up, Thanksgiving Day is almost here. Find out what the weather will look like for your holiday.
And President-elect Donald Trump is putting tariffs on goods from 2 new nations. We'll tell you why this happened and how much this will affect those countries.
Many Olympians have launched their careers at Kent State University. In track and field, veteran coach Nathan Fanger has propelled 2 star athletes to the Summer Games. Following in their powerful footsteps is Olympic hopeful Gabby Bailey. Gabby's high school coach knew Kent State would be a perfect home for the Jamaican star after seeing the success of one of his former athletes, Olympian Danielle Thomas-Dodd.
Kent is a good place to grow because the environment here is unmatched compared to other schools. It's not just a good place for athletes, it's a good place for everybody. Everybody feels supported here.
Coach Fanger helps Gabby grow athletically and academically.
We want to go win conference championships and we want to see people's success outside of track and field, but to get there, you've got to be able to be supportive through the whole process, right? I'm there essentially 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's like an experience that you probably won't get anywhere else. And it's just a feeling of being welcome all the time.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Big developments in the Middle East as Israel's cabinet is set to vote on a ceasefire deal with Hezbollah in Lebanon. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has approved the plan in principle, raising hopes for an end to the war, while Lebanon has already agreed to the deal. Fighting continues with Israel airstrikes hitting targets in Beirut just hours before the expected announcement. The outcome could be announced within 24 hours.
And over in Europe, Russia launched a record-breaking 188 drones at Ukraine overnight. Ukrainian Air Force records shared that it was one of the most intense aerial attacks to date. 4 ballistic missiles were also fired, and these damaged critical infrastructure and caused widespread power outages. In Kiev, air defense systems intercepted drones throughout the night, but several residential homes sustained damage from debris. This latest assault underscores the ongoing toll on Ukraine's infrastructure and civilians as officials work to assess the full impact.
That's right, Noah. In Dnipro, Ukraine, debris from a Russian experimental missile rained down on the city last night. The missile, described by U.S. officials as hypersonic with multiple non-nuclear warheads, struck a nearby children's rehabilitation center. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. President Vladimir Putin claims the missile can bypass Western air defenses, raising global concerns.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at the weather for Thanksgiving break and the big temperature drops coming later this week. Starting with tomorrow, your first day of Thanksgiving break, it is going to be 42 degrees, but a low of 33 degrees. As the day goes on, rain will pick up at about 4 p.m., but once the evening hits, the snow is going to start to mix in and carry on throughout the rest of the morning on Thursday. Now moving into your Thanksgiving Day weather. We're going to start off, like I said, with some morning snow that came in from Wednesday, a high of 41 degrees. But as the day goes on, once about 10 a.m. hits, that's when there's going to be a 70% chance of rain that'll take over for the rest of the day. Now, when the sun starts to set, the snow is going to come back in and follow into Friday. Winds will be west 8 to 8 miles per hour. Now, if we take a look at what the rest of the week is going to look like, as I said, Wednesday and Thursday, both a snow and rain mix. Both pretty similar days. Now, once we get into Friday, we are going to see a pretty big trend for the rest of the week with a lot of snow. On Friday, a high of 32, but a low of 17 degrees with a 70% chance of snow showers. This continues through Saturday and Sunday, both with a 50 and 60% chance of snow. Moving into Monday, a high of 30 and a low of 19 with a 50% chance of snow. And again on Tuesday, a high of 31 and a low of 19 with a 40% chance of snow. And that's all I have for you today. Have a great Thanksgiving. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Tegan. Lots of headlines coming in from the business world today, from foreign policy to a lawsuit aimed at the happiest place on earth.
And joining us now in studio is our very own Matt Corrali. Matt, how's it going?
Good, Sydney and Noah, thanks for asking. Good evening, and that's right. We'll start tonight with some U.S. foreign policy, as President-elect Donald Trump on Monday promised higher tax on foods from Mexico, China, and Canada on the first day of his presidency. Trump said that this move comes in retaliation for illegal immigration and crime and drugs coming across the border. The president-elect also said on Truth Social that the tariff will be placed at 25% and it will be in effect until those issues come to an end. And because of that, shares of the big three automakers dropped on Tuesday. Shares of General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler owner Stellantis all tumbled, with GM suffering the steepest drop at 8%. Parts sometimes pass through all three North American countries before a car is fully made and sold. Trump says the tariffs he wants to introduce will help protect workers and boost manufacturing in America. Huawei is unveiling a new flagship phone. The Chinese company is hoping that it will give people an alternative to Google's Android or Apple's iOS. Those are common in the United States. The new Mate 70 smartphone starts at $760 and has the Harmony OS Next operating system, which no longer supports Android-based apps. All of Huawei's new phones and tablet devices will run on its own operating system starting next year. Disney is agreeing to pay $43 million to settle a gender pay lawsuit. The case has nearly 9,000 women claiming they received lower wages compared to male counterparts. The worker who started the lawsuit says she did after learning about a $20,000 pay gap with a less experienced colleague on the same job. Disney did not admit fault, but says they're committed to pay workers fairly. And that'll do it for business news. For more stories and updates from us, visit us online at KentWire.com. From the Franklin Hall studio, Matt Caroli, Kent Stater TV.
Turkey Day is this Thursday, and with that comes a trio of Thanksgiving Day NFL games. KSTV has the times and matchups over on the gridiron.
At Kent State University, student athletes from around the world find their home away from home.
My dream has always been to come to the United States and play basketball on a college level.
I'm going to be the first graduate in my family. It's a big thing for me.
The faculty members here at Kent State are incredible.
I feel like Kent State, it has all the opportunity in the world.
Northeast Ohio is the ideal place for them to excel athletically and academically. From the moment they arrive, students are surrounded by a network of support that helps them thrive and achieve their dreams.
We are a family, so helping each other out is one of the most important things.
Straight away I knew I had people that I could count on. As soon as I got here, between coaches, friends that I met pretty early on, I feel like this is a second home now.
This is the place. This is it.
Coach Starkey, he always asks about how you're doing.
Our coaches are so supportive. They make you better athletes, and so many of those qualities are transferable. You're going to come out of here being a successful student athlete.
How can you hate Star Wars?
Kung Fu Panda.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Here for a late night walk.
Yes.
Late night walks around
Yes.
campus.
Oh I always, you know, like the swing.
Student Center.
What?
Wait, care, you mean like healthcare?
CARES Center.
Student Center.
Where you can get support.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Former Cleveland Indians outfielder Rico Carty died Saturday. Carty played for the Indians from 1974 to 1977, where he hit for 47 home runs and a batting average of .303. He also played for the Atlanta Braves, where he hit for the National League batting title in 1970. Carty was 85. Now, with more of a local connection in our world of sports, Gage Willman is joining us in the studio tonight.
Absolutely. Gage, what can you have for us tonight?
Good evening, Portage County, and thank you, Sydney and Noah. It was a very successful weekend for Kent State athletics, but the Kent State Flashes football team is looking to avoid the dreaded winless season. The Flashes are heading up to New York tonight to take on the Buffalo Bulls, and yes, it is true, the Flashes are the only winless team in the FBS. The Flashes are coming off another dreary loss, this time to rival Akron, and folks, it wasn't even close. And I'm not sure it'll get any better as the Bulls are 7-4 on the year. If the Flashes were to secure a win tonight, the defense would really have to step it up, as the unit has allowed 30-plus points in the last 2 games. Tonight's game is scheduled for 8 p.m. Moving to the mat, the Kent State wrestling team had good performances all around at the Navy Classic on Sunday. Junior Billy Meisner won the 149-pounder bracket, besting his way tournament style, and took home a first-place finish, along with MAC Conference West Division Co-Wrestler of the Week. Over on the hardwood women's team, sophomore guard Maya Babbitt won MAC Conference Player of the Week. Last week, Babbitt averaged nearly 20 a game on 58% shooting. On Saturday, the Kent State cross-country team said goodbye to a living legend. Senior Beatty Ba, who has made the NCAA cross-country championship 3 times in his collegiate career, ran for the Flashes one last time in this year's championship. Ba finished 138th out of 252 runners, but that is not to undermine the tremendous career he has had at Kent State, with multiple MAC championship appearances and awards. Happy trails, Beatty Ba. Now, I'm sure you're aware, it is Thanksgiving this Thursday, and with that comes the traditional slate of NFL football. At 12:30, the first-place Detroit Lions will welcome Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears for the most classic sports matchup of any holiday. If you aren't napping by 4:30, it's going to be a battle between old rivals in Dallas with the Cowboys and New York Giants. And finally, at 8:20, the Miami Dolphins and Green Bay Packers will meet at Lambeau Field. Well, Portage County, on behalf of my colleagues and I, this is Gage Wellman signing off and wishing the wonderful world of sports and abroad a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll be back with more.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Good job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
For the last 3 years, Esther Sandelin has been loading frozen turkeys onto her plane to drop them off to Alaskans who live off the road system. She then airdrops these frozen turkeys to the families who may not otherwise have access to a bird for their Thanksgiving dinner. She hopes to turn her work into a nonprofit to reach even more families. This year, she's expected to drop off between 30 and 40 turkeys. That is truly, truly something. And, you know, I'm so excited for Thanksgiving. It's one of those holidays I absolutely love. I know that you have a very special birthday to celebrate during Thanksgiving break, but do you have any other big holiday plans?
I am super excited just to be home with my family. It's always a really fun time of year. We also have another birthday in the studio. I'd like to shout out David, who is running our floor and cameras today.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty awesome. So happy birthday,
Two big
David.
birthdays this week.
We also have some other friends joining us in the studio to chat about their Thanksgiving plans. But while we're here, oh, there they are. Welcome back, Gage and Tegan.
Welcome back.
What are you guys up to for your Thanksgiving plans?
Well, similar to you, Sydney, I'm also going home this week to see my parents, my brother-in-law Danny, my sister Layla. I'm really happy. Oh, and also my roommate and friend, Young Seo Cho. He is from Seoul, South Korea, and we're actually bringing him home this week for Thanksgiving to celebrate his first ever Thanksgiving in America.
That sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah.
I commute already as it is, so I'm always home, but of course I'll be home for Thanksgiving, spending with my family, my boyfriend's family, and just all of the fun things with Thanksgiving.
What's like the tradition you guys have in your households? I can start us off. We go to the movies on Thanksgiving. It's kind of fun. So I think we might be seeing Gladiator 2 this year, but any other fun traditions?
Yeah, you know, my family does this weird thing. My mom started it like a few years ago, probably like 5 or 6 at this point, where we do like a Thanksgiving trivia like test, and she gets all these like stupid questions off.
That's
Not
awesome.
stupid like stupid tradition, stupid as in like hard questions, and then like you get placed based off your score, and like the winner gets like a bunch of lottery
You definitely
tickets.
have to be sharp in the Rowe household, from what I've gathered.
Absolutely, it's a dog eat dog world out there.
What about you guys?
Well, I think it comes as no surprise, Tegan, but yes, football is the main focus on Thanksgiving in my family. My dad is a diehard Browns fan, but he has been known to root for the Lions on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we always have football on, and of course the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
That's a good one.
And then also just making sure the Christmas tree is up the day before Thanksgiving.
That's a good one
That's
too.
what I like to hear.
Absolutely. You know, there is something I did get for you, Sydney, in honor of your birthday and
Wow.
Thanksgiving. This hand turkey that has been here all show, it's all yours. It's all
awesome.
yours. I just wanted to
Thank
make
you
sure
so
that
much.
got
This is-
got
I can
got
tell it's
to you.
very well drawn, lots of color on
Lots
that
of
one as
color
well.
on it. It might be hard to come through on camera, but there's some
That's
orange wobbles.
Okay.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Let's get a nice little focus on this
You know,
turkey.
this is
There's a whole 10 minutes of effort went into that turkey.
So fun. So if people aren't aware, we have a very creative newsroom. There's a big competition for our end of year superlatives.
Yeah,
and
the
who is
newsroom
going to be our
artist
newsroom
race
artist?
is getting heated up. It's something I'm very, very excited to see. We have our very own Joe Dziak in studio. He's in contention for that spot. And, you know, I can't reveal how I voted. I don't do that. But let's just say it's a tight race. It's a tight race.
Our producer is also in the running.
Our
Tyler
producer is also in the
very
running.
handy with the Photoshop.
A lot of Photoshop these days.
You know what's great is that hand turkey equals as not only a Thanksgiving gift, but it's also a birthday gift for
It
our
is,
Mary
it
Sydney
is.
Brown. That's pretty great.
You're so thoughtful. Thank you.
Be a awesome.
And another athletic event that I will say always is on in the Wellman household, that lovely dog show. I love
yes,
the dogs.
that is good.
My mother loves dogs. We have our own very dog. She's a bit of a mutt. Her name's Gigi. We picked her up from the Amish actually a couple of years ago. But she sits with us while we watch the dogs. We see the poodles, the schnauzers. We see all sorts of dogs. It's pretty great. Do you ever watch that with your family, Tegan?
Yes, I watched that, and then also the Puppy Bowl. Is that what it's called?
Yes, that's a good one.
That's very good as well. Later in the fall season. So.
I love that too. Do you guys ever partake in some dog show?
Absolutely. My aunt is a big fan of carrying terriers, so I have to shout them out. They always get snubbed, I think, in the dog show.
Yeah, I'm not much of a dog show enjoyer myself, but if I had to pick like a dog breed, I think Dalmatians are pretty cool. They have like the spots and stuff, pretty sick. But unfortunately, Kent Stater TV News will be back on Monday, December 2nd for an hour-long newscast. That's going to be starting at 6 o'clock.
That's right, and there's so much to tune into next week on KentWire.com, or you can tune in on our KSTV YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Noah Rowe. Have a great Thanksgiving break, Portage County.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall. Writing on the wall. And make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score. So I'm pre-approved. You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Without music on, check this